Hello and welcome to this introductory presentation about MO1005 Strategies for Rural and Remote Service Delivery. This module will develop your rural generalist knowledge and skills to support the design of adapted care pathways through the integration of rural generalist service delivery strategies within a local context. You'll develop a working understanding of a range of strategies and the core principles that inform their design and implementation, enabling purposeful selection of strategies aligned to population needs. During the module, you'll design the integration of one or more appropriate rural generalist service delivery strategies into a specific population segment's care pathway in your local context by further investigating the strategies including governance, quality and safety, impact and adaptation, service operations and training and support requirements, infrastructure and resource requirements, and risk. The intended learning outcomes for this module are that you'll be able to design the adaptation of care pathways by integrating advanced knowledge of rural generalist service delivery strategies with best practice guidelines and local service strategic intent to optimise care in rural and/or remote settings. The module goes for 6 weeks with 22 hours expected workload. You can see the weekly topics here. In Week 1, Introduction to Rural Generalist Service Delivery Strategies, you'll take a broad look at rural generalist service delivery strategies, telehealth, delegation, extended scope of practice, which includes skill sharing, and partnership and shared care, by firstly testing your knowledge of these to get an understanding of what you don't know before perusing examples of each of the strategies. You'll then extend your knowledge by reading further about them and completing an overview that outlines key factors for each strategy. The overview will include documenting which strategies are currently in use by your work unit and/or organisation and which could potentially be included. In Week 2, devise a use case for a rural generalist service delivery strategy. You'll firstly meet with your supervisor to discuss the week's activities, which entail identifying and describing an appropriate aligned use case for the implementation of a rural generalist service delivery strategy in your local context. To do this, in collaboration with your supervisor, you'll identify a population segment whose care pathway you expect will be improved from integrating a rural generalist service delivery strategy and map the current care pathway for this population. You'll then select an appropriate rural generalist service delivery strategy and broadly summarise the context and the way in which the rural generalist service delivery strategy will be integrated into the care pathway. Finally, you'll submit the first 2 weeks of your module workbook, including the concept map of your care pathway, for formative feedback. In Week 3, Implementation, Impact and Adaptation, you'll peruse governance, safety and quality standards that relate to your workplace and integration of the selected rural generalist service delivery strategy and brainstorm relevant prompts about these to draw upon over the next 3 weeks. You'll find information relating to your rural generalist service delivery strategy, including any of your employing organisations related documentation if you haven't done so already. You'll consider your organisation's and/or profession's description and or definition of the strategies you're investigating and what impact differences in these have on widespread implementation of initiatives. Then you'll begin to explore the requirements of implementing your rural generalist service delivery strategy in more depth, starting with the broad impacts and adaptations which will be required. In Week 4, Implementation, Service Operation Processes and Training and Support Requirements, you'll explore the impact of integrating the rural generalist service delivery strategy on service operation processes, including alignment across services, if applicable. You'll then determine the support, training, supervision or credentialing requirements necessary to enable staff, both clinical and non-clinical, to deliver the adapted service. In Week 5, Implementation, Infrastructure, Resources and Risk, you'll explore infrastructure and resource requirements other than human resources necessary to support the safe and effective delivery of the adapted care pathway in your local context before taking a closer look at the risks involved. In week 6, report on your use case. You'll draft a written report for your assessment item 1, which is based on the summaries creating during the module. You'll then meet with your supervisor to discuss the report and incorporate relevant feedback before submitting it as assessment item 1. Each week you will have several learning activities that will take up to 4 hours a week to complete and includes the time you spend on your assessment. A single assessment task is due at the end of the module in week 6. The task is a written report which describes the use of the Rural Generalist service delivery and how it will be implemented. You'll also have the opportunity to submit a formative piece of work at the end of week 2. This is the first 2 weeks of your module workbook, which includes a concept map of the care pathway being investigated. It will form part of the assessment task, so you can refine it before you submit it for grading at the end of the module. We've built in some opportunities for you to interact with the content, the module coordinator, and other participants who are taking the module at the same time. There are learning activities which include contributing to online discussions. This provides a chance and an expectation for you to spot professional insights with others who may be from the same or other health professions. This mutual exchange of knowledge is the basis of successful collaborative team practice, so we hope you'll join in. You'll find the module outline in the Start Here folder. It contains your module coordinator's contact information, all the details of the assessment task and marking criteria, information about applying for extensions, any module prerequisites, and the module calendar. Please don't hesitate to get in touch for any questions or concerns, and enjoy the module.